dream house. Tell me what a dream house is. A dream home versus dream house. What is it?
Okay. My dream house. I guess being able to pick whatever plan you want to do and it coming to reality in front of you was one of the best things that I've ever done.
So it was like a dream.
For other people, but yeah. I mean, the house we have now, thankfully, is probably better than I even expected it to be.
Man, that's a real definition of a dream home if it's better than you expected.
Sure.
Yeah, let's show it. So, and if you will, put some of them post some pictures in the comments. If you can post a picture in the comment, then we'll get some comments and we'll comment on that. So, what's your favorite thing about the dream house that you built?
I have two favorite parts. One, I'm 45 now, and for the first time I have a swimming pool, and I have an awesome swimming pool. Actually, you built that part, but
I did. I did a little bit of the design on that one.
That's probably one of my favorite parts. So the next part's our bathroom. It's definitely my favorite.
The master bathroom is pretty amazing. So, dream home, dream house. Let's break it down. How do you start with how do you decide what you're going to build? Let's say you have a piece of property, and we'll break down the buying process as well, but we're going to build a house. What's the first thing you start with?
Well, the first thing to start with is make sure you know your lot size and what kind of house you're putting on that lot. Because you and I both liked two different things, and one wouldn't fit and one would. So that's the way we came up with the dream house that we have.
That goes back to the space planning.
Space planning, yes.
Yeah. You don't want a long or a wide house. You don't want a wide house if you have a narrow lot.
Right.
This kind of thing.
Right. So
all right.
Choosing lot size, and then the plan that fits properly on that lot is the first thing you have to do.
Okay. And what about space planning with kids and family size?
Ours had to be pretty big, since we talked about those four kids that we have earlier, and then we also have girlfriends and soon to be boyfriends that will be coming over and all that. So it is pretty big, but we did great with not having to have it too big because of them.
To interrupt the dream home design, this goes hand in hand back to something that maybe we can give some insight on. You had 2 children before I met you, and I had 2 children. Now we have 4 children. What's something we got right that we can tell? Because, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. We have it pretty good with our children, and
yes, we do. Yeah.
What's something we got right with we'll call it a blended family? I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, we got several things right with them, but they genuinely love each other, which doesn't always happen. Yeah. They are pretty close. And we do have great children. I mean, we don't really have one that.
But is that something we did? And if so, what did we do right? And if not, we're just thankful for that. You know what I'm saying?
I think that what we did right was showing that the love's the same, that there's no difference, that there's no stepchildren in my life, and there's no stepchildren in yours.
I think that's very important. I think that's key. Yeah. You know, I mean, I think that if
they have other parents, and that's fine. But at our
just
house,
more people to love
family.
Them. Yeah.
I mean,
all right. I thought so. I thought we were on the same page there. It's so important to have your wife on the same page, or it's so important to have your husband on the same page. You got to be on the same page. Back to the designing of the dream home, picking the right plan. Now, when it comes to curb appeal, I am a yard. You know, I'm all about landscaping.
Yes.
You were less important in that, but yet the exterior. How do you come up with what the outside should look like?
Well, there's a lot of different ways, but I love the way our house has so many different elements on the outside. I knew that that's what I wanted. So to find the perfect brick, the perfect stone, the perfect board and batten that we have, color and everything together was very important to me. So honestly, you probably need somebody to help you with that if it's not what you do. But
Yeah.
it was not hard for me. But
so someone building a house, they want to build their dream home. If they're not a very good designer, or don't know exactly what they need to do, great idea to consult a professional.
Yes. And the one difference in color, texture, whatever can ruin the whole thing.
Okay. If you want to post several of those pictures in the comments on on the April's Interior Design page, or however you can do. So give us some feedback on what you like and dislike about the house, and we'll get your professional opinion. We can do it. If we can't do it on the show, we'll do it in the comments later. If you will, like and share this video wherever you are viewing it. If you like it, if you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. We'd like some feedback. You can share it and say, man, this was a crazy, or this was a dumb show. I'd rather you not say that about this show, but we'll take any feedback we can get. Buying versus building. When is it a good idea to buy a house versus build a house?
It's a good idea to buy one if you can't handle the stress of building, which a lot of people have trouble with. At the very end, even I was ready for it to be all over with. But buying is better than building if you can find something that you like and don't have to make a lot of changes to it. If you have to, you and I looked at a few to buy, and it would have cost me so much to make it look like I wanted it to. It wasn't for us. Okay. And I wanted to build my own one time.
Yeah, and I'm so glad we did. And I'm going to give some advice on it right here. If you build a house, hire a professional and get out of their way. You can give your opinions, but let them do what they do. Don't try to be a general manager of a car dealership and a home designer. Don't try to be a lawyer and a home designer. You get you a home designer and you tell her what you want, or him, what you like and what you don't like, and then you just let them roll with it. Building a house was the easiest thing I ever did.
You just had to write a lot of checks.
Yep. So when's a good idea to buy a house? Did you already answer that?
Sort of. I think that buying a house is smart if you can live with it the way that it is, like I said before. And there is a lot of less unknown when you buy one. If you have a very strict budget, if you have a specific amount you cannot go over, if you know I cannot afford more than this, then that is a very good thing for you to do, because there's, as you know, where we thought we were going to be and where we ended up were two different places.
A long way apart.
Yeah. And a lot of that was me.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of unknown in building a home, especially right now. And what happened in 2020, building supplies went up, and anybody that's in the middle of building right now is paying a lot more than they thought they were going to. So buying a home that you can buy for $250, $225, whatever, and you can live with it the way it is, and you know what your payment is, that's a great thing for you if that's what you want. But you can't buy a house that's exactly like you want it.
Okay. So let's let this lead right into the other part of this the buying, building, and the luxury design. Now, early on, for a long time, we had to, I'm married to a professional designer, but we had very limited budgets on what we could do, and our homes have always been beautiful. So what can somebody do who wants to make their home beautiful, but they don't want to buy, or their budget won't allow them to buy a $3,000 rug and and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on redesigning or on making it look luxurious. What can they do? What's the first thing that they can do?
I always say changing paint color on a wall is one of the best things that you can do to brighten up your space or change your space or anything like that. And I also say, if you can't buy everything that's expensive, pick one thing and splurge on that thing that's the maybe the focal point of the room, and build from there, and do less expensive on everything else. Because if you see that part and you love it every day, everything else doesn't have to be quite so expensive. So one piece, just splurge on one thing that you love.
All right. So changing paint,
Yes.
painting. That's an inexpensive way to
And
make your space prettier.
the house before this one, you and I and the children painted every inch of that house
Yeah, we
ourselves.
did.
We didn't hire anybody.
Yep. And when you can, it's best. A lot of times it's cheaper
better,
to hire a professional, but when you can, when you have to paint the whole thing yourself, that's a good way. Okay. And then you say, pick one thing, a focal point that you splurge on, and then design everything around that. Makes sense. And then you can do one thing at a time, one room at a time.
Right.
Okay. What specifically, because I've seen you take very simple materials and build something that's beautiful. What's something you could do to just that's creative? I know we have a video from a long time ago of you creating this little area with a, you know what I'm trying to ask?
Yeah. I think that just make it your space. And I love, and I go all over. I mean, I can buy wholesale, I can buy whatever. I love to go in little shops and find different things. You don't have to pay a lot of money for every single thing, but I like a lot of texture. I like a lot of colors. I like a lot of things all mixed together. So to me, that makes it look more finished than just going and doing what everybody else does.
Right. Make it unique.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that's some pretty good examples of how you can design on a budget. You can also get a lot of cool tips at on her page. If you're not friends with April, send her a friend request, and also please like her page, April's Interior Design. I put it in the link. I put it in the comments on several of the pages. Lots of stuff, and when you leave here, where you're going.
I'm going to lots when I leave here.
So you're going to the furniture store to meet a client?
I am.
Okay. So furniture and accessories, if they want more information, they can reach out to you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Send her, you can right here, I'm sure her name's tagged in here. Reach out to April if you want some more information. She does sell furniture. And speaking of furniture, we have some super nice furniture in our home. I don't know if you have a shot of that, of the interior, maybe
a little bit. I gave him a little bit.
So you don't have to Robbie Jones I hope he's watching. Robbie's a great friend of mine, and I got this little saying from him. You don't have to spend $20,000 to look like you did. Well, I think Robbie's thinking he talks about buying a 1 or 2 year old vehicle. You don't have to spend $50,000 to look like you did. Well, you don't have to spend $10,000 to look like you did.
Right.
So what's some things you could do to save some money, but yet, or hey, drop some brands on us, some brands to look at that's
at the furniture store that I work out in White Cross Lots. We have anything from a $10,000 sofa to a $500 sofa. You can buy Ashley from us. You can buy Lane from us. You can buy Bassett, Craftmaster. You can buy Lee. You can buy Wesley Hall. The last two are very high end. The first ones are not so high end. You can spend anything that you want to spend. I can be in any budget that you want to be in. And with the budget, I tell you what pieces that you should buy and wait on the other ones until you can get it exactly the way you want it.